Hi, everybody. This is Eve Hennessy, the author of Detox with Eve. Um, I have been helping people recover from chemical sensitivity and other chronic illnesses for more than 10 years. I have a Facebook page, Detoxing the Body and Health from Multiple Chemical Sensitivity. I have a website, YouTube channel, and I also do some wellness coaching. So smash the likes and hit subscribe to come and do my videos, which I should be doing these days almost every day live. Let me turn my lights up there. I want to talk today about healing a chronic illness because that's what I had. The multiple chemical sensitivity is a chronic illness, and at that time, well, it was not even recognized as an illness, but there was nobody that had been cured from it. So I was the first one that I know of, and I'm not sure how many people have been completely healed for as long as I have. I know there's some people out there. I helped a lot of people completely get free of this illness. So, and the thing that I learned along the way is that really one chronic illness has a lot of overlap with other chronic illnesses. And especially in the group of chemical sensitivity, there's this chronic fatigue, there's fibromyalgia, there's Lyme, there's a lot of other illnesses. I mean, cancer really, lung problems. So I want to help you to recover from your chronic illness. The reason it's called chronic is because it is not curable and you're expected to live with it. Well, I really did not want to live with multiple chemical sensitivity. I actually never accepted it. Just my personality. I was just like, oh, I'm going to find a way to heal it. I mean, there were times I thought I was going to die and that I was very sick and that I would never heal it. But you know, overall, I really just had this feeling like I'm not going out this way, you know? Because I had a very kind of difficult earlier life, and then my life is just getting a little smooth, and then I get really sick. And I'm like, oh, I'm dying. And I really was dying. I mean, when you have a chronic illness, especially this one I had, it was the only one I've ever had, you just feel really bad, and things just get worse and worse. You actually get worse and worse. You know, you might have a good day, but over time, you're getting worse. And this was with me, like, doing everything I could to get better from the beginning. I mean, I figured out in a few weeks what I had from Googling, and I started immediately on the healing path. So that was fortunate. I did have the onset all of a sudden. You know, I always was maybe sensitive to chemicals. I didn't like certain things I couldn't be around, but the multiple chemical sensitivity came on all at once. All of a sudden, I used to do a lot of working out in the gym, also as a Zumba teacher. That was my life, was like this sort of dance exercise and working out in the gym. And, you know, all of a sudden, I was just like, what's wrong with everyone? Why is everybody wearing all this awful laundry detergent? I get really irritable and just not feel good. And it was really like from one moment to the next. Oh, hi. Let's see. So I have a question. I'm very excited because I just started this like a week ago and I haven't had many people with questions. Even if you start to avoid the toxins, the immune system still needs a lot of time to relearn how to slow down. I know from experience that this is a question of patience. Yeah, that's true in my case. It took a really long time to get well. I mean, I was avoiding toxins and detoxing very strongly for probably a year, and I still was getting sick. I mean, that's kind of bad news, right? You're like, oh, I don't want to be sick for a year, you know, but looking back, I was actually only ill a short time compared to most people. So yeah, I mean, you have to be patient. You have chemical sensitivity. I mean, you know, it's very intense. You know, it controls your life. I don't know about other chronic illnesses, but especially this one, you can't really go anywhere. You can't do anything. Your arms and your legs work. You might have the energy, but wherever you go, something's going to make you sick. So, yeah. So I read a lot, and when I was sick, I just kind of laid in bed for several years, because even when I started getting better, I was still sick. and still tired. Maybe I just was getting less and less sick, but I still was very sick. And most people didn't think I was sick because I looked about the same and better even. But I did not feel good, and I was always reacting to stuff. Yeah, let me know where you're from. Smash the likes, hit subscribe. Tell me what you're eating or drinking. Where do you live? I'm so happy to actually be connected with other people. The first night I came on somebody who had read my book from New Zealand. She's like, oh, I read your book. It helped me a lot. So I live in Washington, D.C. I live in a city. I never left my home. I got sick and I got well in the same place. I made a lot of changes to my home. I detoxed it to the maximum that I could, but still I live in the city. But now my body knows how to deal with everything going on. So if you have a chronic illness, it's generally going to involve a lot of different areas. And I strongly believe that everyone should really detox as much as possible with chronic illness. These are my friends in the park. They're playing their jazz. I got to close the window. And then I got to go out there soon. Luckily, I live in the most social area in Washington, D.C., so I have made friends out in my park. So detoxing is very key. I mean, toxins put a very heavy load on the body. They really stress the body out. They weigh the body down. And, you know, that's how you get this cancer and these other illnesses, because your body is very burdened with trying to clean and clear all of these, unnatural substances that your body doesn't recognize as food or any kind of nourishment. So your body, it's just like if your house is like a super mess and you're trying to get through it, like my bedroom used to be like that. I was a kid, like such a mess, you can't even walk through it. So when your toxins are like that, it's like having a really dirty house. Everything is more work. Everything is harder. It's not healthy. So you got to little by little clean by making changes, changing your laundry detergent, changing your food, stop eating GMOs, buy organic, even if you have to buy a little bit of food. Don't eat the meat that has especially, eat organic meat, but then if you can't eat grass-fed organic, it's very expensive. And then if you can't eat halal or kosher. Oh, look. Quito, Ecuador. So let me just say this one thing. Yeah, I have to always say every time I had a very serious brain injury in February, so I forget things. Hopefully I don't repeat too much. Well, my brain's healing very well because I wasn't really accepting brain injury either. Don't accept being sick. I don't think it's necessary. I mean, I'm not saying that, not in all cases, but as far as I know, and for me, I will try to get well and believe that I can get well from anything. So, okay, so you're cutting down on your toxins. You're cleansing your body. You're using clean water. You're using lemon juice. If you're real sick, coffee enema. I was reading some of the comments on my enema videos. I made 2 videos, and one day we'll do a big forum here and discuss it, because it's scary when you never did it, and a lot of people won't do it. And if you're that sick, just do it. Who cares? Like, you have to make the decision to get well. I think that's one of the most important things. It's like, I'm gonna get well. I'm gonna do whatever I have to do, and if that means like doing this enema, which nobody, of course, wants to do. Once you do it, it's fine. You get used to it, and then you feel so much better immediately. If you have any kind of chronic pain, especially if you have cancer, if you have chemical sensitivity, when you do this coffee enema cleanse, immediately you feel better. That's why I did it every day, not out of self-discipline, but because when I did it, I would feel better. Okay, I'm going to read this question. Keto, air pollution, smoke is a problem here, but overall, I try to avoid contaminated air. No cereals. Diet is just fresh produce, fish, fruit, and low stress. Okay, so do you have chemical sensitivity? Are you feeling okay? Yeah, I lived in Mexico City, which is the most polluted city in the world. I mean, probably contributed definitely to the reason that I got multiple chemical sensitivity. Yeah, I lived in Mexico City for quite a while. So I know what that Latin American air pollution is like. Well, it's some of the worst in the world. MCS, post-viral chronic fatigue. So chronic fatigue, right? So any illness, I think, as far as I know, I'm not a doctor, I'm not an expert on all illnesses. I don't do this for a day job. This is just, I'm sharing some things that I've learned. I do a little bit of consulting, but it's not, exhaustive. So fatigue also comes with any chronic illness. So I think a lot of chronic fatigue goes into a lot of illnesses because you're just tired. I mean, I actually think depression and chronic fatigue are also they can be indistinguishable. Like, it's a symptom, like you just don't feel like doing anything. And when you don't feel like doing anything, it's like you don't have that extra energy to give you that happiness, that impulse. And then you're like, man, why is life so hard? Everything is just like an effort. And, so hard. I mean, I spent several decades depressed, much prior to getting chemical sensitivity. And I think it's all related. I think, I had a lot of trauma as a child, and then I think I had a lot of toxic exposure, and those two things are like an MCS disaster. Living in Mexico City, I was an artist. I lived in my studio. The whole thing reeked of turpentine. So that was my life. Post-viral. So the good news is that, when I had a chemical sensitivity, I would go read all these message boards. Back then it was like, what the hell is the name of that one? Some weird message board. I'm sure it's still there. A lot of people in there are real sick. But, we're like, well, it's permanent living damage, permanent brain damage. You have this gene that's bad, or your toxic metals. I spent all of my money and all my time trying to get rid of my toxins. I got rid of all my amalgams. I got rid of, everything. Got rid of my carpet. I got rid of plastics in my house. I stopped even eating and drinking food out of plastic. Back then it was very hard, but I would even touch plastic or read a magazine or do anything normal. So so there's a lot of smoke and there's a lot of air pollution in the city. And guess what? You can create in your own home like an oasis. So, okay, detoxing is one. Creating a healthy environment, oasis, is another thing that's going to help you heal from any kind of chronic illness. So I have all these plants. The peace lily is known to be a very intensely detoxifying plant. So I have 3 really big ones. I have other plants in other parts of my house. So not only they're creating oxygen, but they're cleaning the air. I have a video made on it because NASA actually took these plants into space because they needed to clean the air in the space stations, and they did a lot of tests. So I have also air filters, which I use as well, but I believe more in the plants, because one, that doesn't have the electricity, the EMFs getting put off. I think both together is good because I have my fan on and I can tell it gets white. I can tell by how often it gets dirty, how the air in my place is. I live in a city. I live downtown DC. I mean, it's not the worst air, but it is the city. When I had chemical sensitivity, I always felt like I couldn't breathe. I used to cough all day long. I used to wake up feeling like I had smoked 10 packs of cigarettes, like my lungs were just really strained. It would even strain my heart after a while. Had a lot of problem with my lungs. I developed asthma. So getting your indoor air is clean, getting your bedroom, especially where you're sleeping, do the least amount of electricity you can there. Get an organic mattress if you can. If you can't, cover your mattress with lots of old cotton blankets that will like seal in the toxins that are in mattresses. Frankly, I don't know. Our mattress is still as toxic as they used to be, but you know, within 5-6 years ago, they sprayed them like crazy with this fire retardant, which is very toxic. And the thing about fire retardant is it doesn't come out of your body that easily. Like BPA, you know, you can clear your body of that in a month, but this flame retardant stays very long in the body. So you do want to avoid that. I know there's changes in laws. Always things are changing up. So even my information, you can Google it. I don't stay on top of stuff because I don't feel ill and I'm not trying to survive and stay alive. You know, but that was my daily life, Googling the toxins and everything. I did make this book. If you're not really aware of toxins and how the body works with them, it's a very simple, easy book, very short. It's very good to give to all your friends and family because besides you learning a lot, they will learn too. They'll be like, oh, look, this is toxic. Oh, I should change my laundry detergent. Like it's a little bit of a sneaky way to get life more livable for people with chemical sensitivity. It's also a sneaky way to get people to stop pouring this stuff into our water system. I mean, my book is dedicated to the pristine beauty of the earth, and toxins are unnecessary. There's maybe some that are good, you know, and I won't say good, but some that are at least useful. But just having toxic laundry detergent, like, there's no upside for that. It's not cleaning your clothes or doing you any favor. So it's good to give this to people, especially people that don't really know. And it kind of goes to the different categories. Plastics. So just packaging. You know, when you package your food in plastics, you are you're getting that plastic residue in your food, which is petroleum, which is a carcinogen, and it's not good for you at all. So try to, you know, cut back on the plastics. It will just give you a lot of ideas. And if you're not really sick, just, you know, little by little cutting out toxins from your life is going to make you feel a lot better. It's going to be better for the world, and it's not hard. It's not expensive. That's why my book is called Detox with Ease. Like, it doesn't matter where you start. You know, you can keep smoking cigarettes, but you know what? You can smoke American spirits or natural tobacco instead of commercial cigarettes, which are like insanely toxic. Like, I could be next to a regular cigarette. It might not bother me if it was organic tobacco. But I mean, if you're smoking a, you know, any just kind of conventional brand with toxins, it's awful. They have like 400 chemicals in them. So you could just switch your cigarette brand. You know, you don't have to. The thing with people is that they're afraid to change, you know, so and myself included, you know, so I believe like just making the smallest, easiest change little by little is the way to go. Hey, do you have any questions? Is it JM? Anyway, if you have any questions, I can try to answer them. So chronic illness. I just want to show you my favorite thing for chronic fatigue. I got this for my knee issues. My knees were getting swollen. I was having joint problems. So I got this like way after I didn't have chemical sensitivity anymore, and I wasn't really depressed, but I did notice from the beginning of using it that I even had way more energy. So I actually feel like this could be the #1 most healing thing you could do, because when we're sick, our body's working extra. When we're working extra, we're tired, you know, like our immune system, our body's not functioning properly, which is why you have so many different symptoms. You know, you can have this symptom, that symptom, you know, all these symptoms is just because your body is really in a weakened state, and, you know, all kinds of things happen to it. You are going to get viruses. You're going to get sick. You're going to feel depressed. You're going to feel anxious, like, because it's all of these things have to do with your body being in a compromised state. So I'm going to pull out my red light like I do. I do believe I have a link below. I have the big one, but you can get even small ones. I financed mine. But it is a red light, which is proven by the FDA. Oh, somebody sent me some Cash App. To stimulate collagen growth. It's been known to heal lymphoma, studied by the NIH, studied by NIH and Harvard to reverse Alzheimer's. So it's amazing for the brain. Let me plug it in just so you see what it's like. Red. Mine has, so I studied all of the devices, you know, for a while before I chose this brand. It has near infrared and LED light. All right, there it was. It's very red. So what I do with this, I usually either I eat my breakfast in front of it or I do yoga. When I was feeling kind of fatigued when I first got it, it was winter. You know how it's also like a light source for your eyes. It wakes you up and makes you feel good. So it's a little, it has the red light, which is a part of the sunlight rays. Study for all kinds of things. So, but it actually puts energy into your body, which is amazing. So it's like red lights from the sun. This one has near infrared and LED, which they do two different things. So if you're going to get it, get this one that has both of them. It's going to do twice as much amazing work in your body. So I just want to say that for the chronic fatigue. So it gives you ATP in your body, and a lot of any chronic illness is going to be that you don't have enough energy, you know, because your energy is going to like try to, you know, put out fires and repair, and it's just too much. Oh, thank you. Somebody sent me some Cash App. I have a Cash App. I do take donations. So red light. I highly recommend it, especially if you have, my friend had very serious back issues. Okay, ATP. So it puts ATP, which is energy in your body. When you eat food, it converts into ATP, which is what gives you energy. So your calories convert into ATP. So it actually gives you actual energy in your body. Athletes use it for sports performance. They use it for, they have 15% better sports performance. A lot of men use it for their sexual function, as do women. This device just does everything, and it really helps your well-being. So being well really is about well-being, you know. So there's so many different things you can do to improve your well-being. The more you improve, the more well you're going to be and the more well-being you have. Like, I improved so much that before my injury, I used to go, it was like kickboxing with 25-year-old men, you know, for like 2 hours. This was like at a top place. So I have so much energy and stamina than really, frankly, most of them. I was not stronger. I was slower and weaker, but I could go for a really long time and not get fatigued and not get tired. And part of it's red light. So athletes do use it, and they use it for muscle recovery as well. I was going to get to something else. Red light therapy. Anyway, I'll always talk about that every time. I do get a slight commission if you buy one, but the reason I recommend this one is that the red light has to be a very specific frequency and then also a specific amount of joules, which is the power, you know. Any red light is probably going to be good for you. You can get a really super cheap one. It will probably do you some good, but I'm not sure. This is the therapeutic grade one that's FDA approved. So if you're going to spend money, you may as well do it right. As best investment I ever made. I usually sit in front of there, do yoga and meditation. You feel really good. Good for your brain. Good for your skin. People pay $80 a pop to go to this dermatologist and get this light therapy for acne and for anti-aging. So basically, there's no reason not to get that device. Oh, my friend had a very serious back issue, so it speeds up healing. Anything that speeds up healing is amazing, you know. So if you're not sick, then you're just getting more and more well, which is great. So what else do we do for our chronic illness? So we need to really feed our body the best we can. There's a whole bunch of supplements, B vitamins, shots, and drips. I've done everything. I really feel like for healing, sometimes it's the most practical and simple things, things that are tested with time. And red lights from the spectrum. And this thing was studied 30 years ago by Harvard. You know, if you Google up like Harvard study red light therapy, you can read these documents. So I'm a huge fan of superfoods because we know like supplements are great. When I was really sick, I took tons of supplements, but then I think some of them, like, I don't know, like you can overdo it. You're actually changing the chemistry of your body. When you're sick and desperate, you do a lot of sick and desperate things. So, and there's no way to know which ones were good or which ones weren't, but I took a lot of alpha-lipoic acid, which was great, a lot of vitamin C, but I would always drink it because I used to couldn't swallow pills. I can now. But I think it generally took some of the enamel off my teeth. So here's coconut. Coconut is an amazing superfood. You can buy a book on this. The oils are very good for you. Any kind of good oils, especially for MCS, MS, anything to do with the brain, the nervous system, depression, anxiety. You want to get a lot of amazing, healthy fats. So coconut has 3 chain triglyceride, whatever. Very good for you. I just pulled stuff out of my refrigerator. Maca is a root from Peru and the Andes, and it is a hormone adaptogen. And what an adaptogen means is that it can kind of tell what you need. So a lot of our illnesses involve some kind of hormonal imbalance, and that's also a reason to detox, because pesticides and hormones given into our chickens and dairy and all that creates a lot of imbalances. Stress, terrible imbalances, or it could be, any reason. So this maca has been known to give energy and then also known to regulate the hormones. This is turmeric, which now everybody's heard about. It comes in a root too. Now you can get the root in most stores around where I live. I have like 3 stores in walking distance. I can get turmeric root. It's it's antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, anti-everything. So pretty much if you have something going on, turmeric's going to help it. Hemp seeds, this is another one that has the good fats and good omega-3 fatty acids per serving. So that's very important. I'm glad I found these because I actually really need more. I have not been eating any of my superfoods lately. Hemp seeds and yogurt with some raspberries, whatever. And so you can add the good foods. Sometimes say if you have you eat a lot of junk food and a lot of sugar, a lot of carbs, you go to Taco Bell, whatever. Maybe it's too hard to stop doing that. But what you can do is you can start adding these foods. And then what will happen? Oh, hey, I'm not a doctor at all. I'm totally non-medical advice. I'm just a person that healed myself from an illness. So somebody asked, was I a doctor? I'm not a doctor. I just, healed myself from experimenting in Google. Okay. Okay. That's what I was going to say. I'm a fraud. Whatever. Well, Harris, I'm sure you have something better to do. When you're very sick and no doctor can help you, you can come back and I can help you. You can take some of my suggestions because they're all healthy and good things and none of them will hurt you. I'm not prescribing. And I'm not saying not to go to a doctor. Certainly, we can go to a doctor. I went to a doctor many times, But in my case, no, doctor, help me. All right, I'm going to put you in a timeout. It's so funny. Just trolls come in here, but I think it's good to have even trolls because at least they comment something, which is good for your algorithm. So thank you, troll. Some people get very upset, because whatever. This isn't a channel for those people. Like my own, most people I know are not interested in healing themselves. They're not interested in learning new ways to be well. They just believe like there's no cure because the doctor said there was no cure, and they just go home and hang out and be sick. But that is not this channel. So what you can do, instead of eliminating like, oh yeah, I smoke cigarettes, I drink, I eat a Taco Bell every day. No, you don't have to stop that. If you can and you have the strength and the desire, yes, but sometimes we have to work with ourselves, and if we have this habit of living this way, it can be very difficult to change unless you're really scared straight. But some people are really sick and they still can't change. So what you can do is you can just start adding these other foods in. Like just get your omega-3s, your flax seeds, your hemp seed. Like this is from Trader Joe's. Like any store, you can get this now. Sprinkle it, in your yogurt or however you're going to eat it. And then what happens is that your body starts to get more nourishment. Even if it's still eating bad things, just adding a little bit the good things is way easier for some people. And then little by little, your body is going to start responding to the positive nutrients, and it's probably going to want less and less the negative sugars, carbs, pesticides, GMO, corn, tacos, whatever. So there, that's a very good for healing chronic illness. Like our guest from Ecuador said, de-stress. Stress is a toxin. Stress takes oxygen from your lungs. You're not breathing heavy. When you're stressed out, you're breathing very light. You're not getting enough oxygen in your body, and it's really degrading your health. You're releasing stress hormones into your body. Your brain isn't even functioning correctly. You get anxiety, your heart's beating fast, your blood pressure goes up, and you don't feel happy, So when you feel happy, when you're less stressed, when you're relaxed, and you find things that make you happy, then you're creating serotonin, you're creating dopamine, you're creating all of the feel-good chemicals are also health chemicals in your body. Serotonin, dopamines, all that. So you want to do as many things as makes you feel happy, and really try to get rid of things that make you not feel happy. If you have some really annoying, awful people in your life and you can avoid them, then do that, because that can be a cause for a lot of stress for a lot of people. If your job is you can just start, looking into your own life and finding ways that would be helpful and beneficial to you. Let's see. So that's very good. This kind of yoga relaxation techniques activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which puts your body into a healing state. That's why we're all doing yoga. We're all meditating. We're all chilling in nature. Nature is amazing. I give nature maybe 40%, of the credit for healing me. I spent a lot of time grounding in nature. So I have a video on grounding. So I was in contact, with the actual electromagnetic field of the earth. And whenever I would do that, I would feel a lot better. It was just like when you do coffee and you immediately feel better. I'm in nature, sitting on a rock, with my shoes off or whatever, I immediately feel better. Or sometimes it would take me a few hours to feel better, but I would go in nature until I would feel better. I'll spend many, 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 many days and hours in the forest. If you have Lyme's or whatever, people are, traumatized about ticks and stuff, you can find another way. You can always find a way. That's really the basis of healing, is like making that decision. I'm going to find a way. I've talked to a lot of people and they're like, well, I live with my aunt, she smokes, like that is a very hard place to learn how to heal, but even if you have a little closet, you put plants in there, you can create your own air in a closet. Or you can just do so much meditation and like deep breathing exercises when you're not around the smoke that you're flooding your body with oxygen. Also, I think Wim Hof method is amazing. It oxygenates your body, which is a super healer as well. I have a Zoom. I don't think it's in the links, but you can email me or put a comment. 11:30, no, 12 o'clock. It was 11:30 for a while. 12 o'clock Eastern time, Washington, D.C., where we do like 10 minutes of this breathing. We do a little abs, a little bit of arms workout, half an hour workout. And that's $40 a month for every day. Then I have free yoga in the mornings, 8 o'clock, 8 to 9. But you have to just let me know. But these things are healing. Like my healing programs of the people that I worked with who got well, it was through kind of taking them through this mind-body healing, relaxation, and learning how to have positive habits, like say, generally if you have a chronic illness, there is a reason, and you can like try to backtrack and find what the reason is. That's why a pill can't really help you, because it doesn't really take away the reason. It might treat the symptom. Or unless you have a certain virus and there's a certain pill that virus can get rid of, yeah, well, you're in luck. But a lot of things do not have like a known cure. And so you have to kind of go back and, all that time I spent stressing out, how to like replace it with feeling relaxed. What else? Chronic illness, healing. Acupuncture helped me a lot. There's different modalities. Now there's so many things. It just depends on how much money you have and, what's convenient for you. Also, some people who are chemical sensitive are very, very sick, and it's very hard for them to find anything that doesn't bother them. So, and if that's your case, I would seriously, meditation and yoga, nature. Me for a while, I didn't even like to work on my computer for many years, very electromagnetic sensitive as well. But now I can feel it. So I still do my grounding every day because I need that. I'm a sensitive human being, and I notice the difference. And meditation, yeah. So everyone has their own set of circumstances. Some people have it much more difficult. Some people have tons of money. They can just hire everyone. You can get massages. You can get, glutathione drips. That's pretty amazing, glutathione drip. I never tried that when I was sick. I did try drips, but I was already well, so I didn't really notice any difference. When you're well, you don't notice. That's why it's a little bit hard for a doctor sometimes to understand illnesses, especially these really complicated ones, because, if you never had a chronic illness, it's pretty, you can't really imagine what it's like. But, yeah. Wim Hof, red light, baking soda, keeping your body alkalized, good fats, meditation for your brain and your serotonin. You don't have to do yoga, but you could try different things. There's a lot of different kinds of yoga. The kind that I do in the beginning is just seated, very easy, simple stuff. There's a lot of different kinds of yoga. I didn't think I used to like yoga because with the yoga classes I always went to were very strict and very serious and too hard, or else too easy, So sometimes it's finding a teacher and finding the exact kind you like. And for the exact amount of time, you don't have to do an hour. I've never done an hour of yoga in years because I just don't have time. I probably would do it if I had the time, but I don't. So I just started this new yoga practice. That's why I'm giving it away for free, because I want to get people into it. So it's a half-hour Kundalini, half-hour of just seated, other kinds of easy twists and forward bends and, vinyasa hatha style yoga. Probably later when I get back into the yoga stream, I'll do higher levels and then offer that. But right now it's like level 1, level 2. Drinking clean water, very important. Hydrating, that has to do with your lymphatic system, getting exercise, very healing. I'm sure there are some things that I forgot. I gotta go. I just wanted to give a little bit of a video and give you some tips. Here's the thing, some people maybe criticize me or whatever. Even when I used to write, my Facebook posts, people are always criticizing you. But, when I was sick, I would listen to anyone, If somebody had information that could help me get well, I would listen to it. I'm not going to sit there and criticize. That's just silly. So you use what you want. Even if you get one tip, here's the thing. Even if you get one small tip, maybe it's so boring, you already know all this stuff, but if you get one little idea, that little idea could be the thing that changed your life. When you get on a healing path, it's exactly the same as when you are on the sickness downward spiral, where you're just getting worse and worse because your body is having a harder and harder time dealing with everything that's going on. It's just getting sicker and sicker. That's why basically you're dying. And I was definitely dying. And I knew it for sure. It was scary, when your body doesn't, respond well at all. Like, even after many, many months of detoxing and supplements and saunas. Okay, that's another one. Sauna, very good for detoxing. Also, it's good for the circulation. Also, red light therapy, very good for the circulation. Good for the lymphatic system. But also sauna, very good for that. But when you're healing, it's the same thing. You just get better and better and better, and everything is so much more easy. So you're spiraling out, into the well-being, until you have a lot. I found walking is also good therapy, especially if you can do it outside the city. It is exercise and very relaxing. Yeah, walking is amazing. Yeah, I actually get up and run every day. When it started with the COVID, like, I get up and I go outside and run. I take off my shoes for part of it, for grounding. If you can even get like a copper wire and put it in your shoe and have it touching the ground, or I was always looking for shoes with leather bottoms with no, just like moccasins, like the Native Americans used to wear. No padding and no rubber. You're going to get that grounding energy. So being outside is amazing, but if you can be outside, even on a sidewalk, a concrete sidewalk generally has grounding energy. Asphalt doesn't permit the grounding energy to go through. So you get that grounding energy. So they've also proven that just hearing the sounds of nature speeds up the healing by 400% or some very high number, which makes sense. So I go outside, I chase around squirrels, I look at the trees, and then I come back inside and work all day and do all that. But walking's good. Anything that makes you feel good, when you're getting ready, when you're very sick, just do anything that makes you feel good. And when people are really getting on your nerves, or just start noticing what doesn't make you feel good. Like, I've never watched TV since I was like 18. But I will get in a room with like people who are watching TV all the time, especially the news is on, and I'll immediately feel bad. So I would notice that. So start noticing things that make you feel bad. I wouldn't even watch, well, no, I do have, like, on my computer, I like to watch some comedy, but certain comedians make me feel bad because they're not really funny. There's something too heavy and dark for me. I'm a sensitive type, So just, you can kind of notice, do I feel good? Oh, I used to read delisted, like celebrity gossip. I didn't read real news, but I read celebrity gossip. But you know what? After a while, it was like, this does not make me feel good. Because it's so mean. They're just criticizing everyone, I like to watch the pictures of celebrities, but I didn't need to read all of those nasty comments, Anything that makes you feel good is going to put you into a more healing state. Anything that makes you feel bad is going to put you into a more illness state. So this is true in every area: emotionally, physically, mentally, energetically, the healing journey. is amazing. Like, you know, it sounds so corny, but I actually really did. I do look back and think, well, the things I learned, and it really changed my life and put me in a direction where I had to, you know, get into this positivity stuff. Like I had to, it's life or death, you know, had to do meditation, yoga, relaxing, you know, I couldn't just be like whoever I thought I was supposed to be earlier, you know, had ideas about who I was supposed to be. And, you know, when you're getting ready to die, you realize you can just let go of that stuff. I appreciate the channel. Conditions like MCS are like opportunities for people to open their eyes. Thanks for the insight and the example. It's true. Like now I'm also not afraid of illness. Like I have no fears of cancer because actually chemical sensitivity is probably way harder to cure than cancer. So I'm not afraid of illness because I learned how to heal. Like I learned how to notice, you know, when your body's healing. I'm not saying I can cure everything. Recently I did have this one illness. I had to take a bunch of really nasty antibiotics. I tried to cure it myself, but I couldn't. So I gave up and took the antibiotics, which made me really so sick. I had to go to the ER with the reactions, but that illness that I had was really bad. All right, thanks. Hit the likes. Make a comment on the down below too, because that's my algorithm. I'm going to keep trying to do these videos. Hopefully something will come of it. I can't really afford to just do it forever unless I start getting a little like a money coming in. So hopefully, you know, so it will generate some kind of positive income, or even if I get a lot of views, then I can remonetize my YouTube channel. Even though I have like 1 million views on my channel, I still have to get 4,000 more hours, you know, to get monetized because I went a couple of years with not getting views. So YouTube is a little. All right. See you later. Ya sabes que hablo perfectamente español. Si tienes amigos y amigas que quieren venir a mi canal, pueden venir y me hacen preguntas en español y yo les contesto en español. ¿Sí? Invite your Spanish friends. Y si hay mucha gente en español que quieren hacer un programa, tal vez hago otro programa de 15, 20 minutos para gente que habla en español que quieren venir a hacer sus preguntas. Got it. All right. So I speak French okay too. Not so good as that. That's it. Let's see. Watch my other videos. Always hit like, hit subscribe to all. That will help me out a lot. That will mean that I can come back more and do more videos and talk about more things. You know, if, you know, this, I'm just taking a little chunk out of my pretty busy day because I have like a full life now. When I was sick, I wasn't doing anything, just laying in bed, reading and reading. And then I just did yoga and nature for quite a while, meditation. Quite a while. It took a while to get all my strength back. All right, have a beautiful evening. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. We can get well. We can get even in a polluted, dirty. You know, I have like EMF. You know how much radio towers in Washington D.C. I live like right down the road from the White House. We have towers everywhere. We have all kinds of who knows what kind of crazy X-ray surveillance and whatnot. I try to get away, you know, get out of nature, but this is where I live, and I feel good. All right, so we can adjust to anything. We can get well anywhere. If some people feel stuck, I mean, I felt trapped. I was like, oh, I need to move. You know, I'm so sick in this house, and you know, the air, everything, cars outside, you know, exhaust. Anyway, but I got well here, and I feel great here. Ciao.